You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Hey everyone, welcome to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U. Happy Tuesday. My name's Paul.
And I'm Rob, and yes, we thank you every single day because we really do appreciate that you take the time out of your day to come hang with us. That's pretty cool. Thank you.
I appreciate you too, Rob, but I hear that there is a bald bandit on the loose.
There's a bald bandit.
Yes, he has been caught stealing Rogaine. I'm not even kidding. I'm.
That is really unfortunate that he would go through that trouble to try to not be bald.
It's right.
I mean, just embrace it.
He's the bald burglar.
Bald. There you go, boy.
All right, hold on. I got something for you. Do you hear that?
What is that?
That, my friend, is the sweet sound of success.
The sweet sound of success. If you're a rancher or...
If you're a drone pilot.
Really?
Yeah.
A drone pilot
Do
and
you
the
know what-
sound of cows. To me, they don't go together.
Oh, I think they go together in more ways than you would ever
Okay.
understand.
How
Number
so?
one, cattle driving. Okay? We did a cattle drive last week. And we did a better job herding the cattle
the
within
horse?
spires than the horses.
Well, yeah, because they're scared out of their wits of the flying UFO.
They're really not. Unless you fly really aggressively, they're really not. But also, cattle ranchers, they want to know, just so you know, there's a whole podcast on Planet Money about how cattle are getting stolen. So what we were doing was recording the branding of the cattle for permanent record. So they had a
Okay.
record of all of the cattle that went through the branding process. So they had numbers, pictures, documentation, the whole nine.
Names? Willie?
I don't think
Jimmy?
so.
No?
Interesting
That's
you went to Willie and
unfortunate.
Jimmy.
Why is that in?
So the first thing I thought of was like Margaritaville, right?
Margaritaville, like it's a racehorse or
Jimmy
something?
Buffett. And then the second one, Willie Nelson. I'm just like, those are the two images I got in my head.
That's funny. All right.
Willie Nelson and Jimmy Buffett. No, they don't name them, but they also pay a lot of money to actually use thermal cameras and fly over their properties to not only count cattle, but also count the other wildlife. And this is especially utilized in places like Colorado, where people
Yeah.
are given licenses to sell to other people depending on how much wildlife they have on their property. So it's a game property. And you can actually market and advertise yourself to say, hey, on our land, we've got 1,300 head of elk, and you can say that for
You can
sure and
prove
say
it.
we have proof. Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, they will pay significant amounts of money to do that because
Because
they
it
got
essentially guarantees them a kill.
revenue. Yes. A lot of ranchers have been doing this with helicopters for a long time, and now they're doing it with drones.
Right.
Also, people are looking for maps of their properties so that when they sell them, they can send a 3D point cloud map of their property to a potential investor and say, this is exactly what the topography looks like. This is how much water, live water. It's really valuable.
And there's also the promotional aspect of it because they want to get people to their ranch,
Yep.
to their hunting facility, whatever you want to call it.
So why are we talking about this?
Why are we?
Because you really got to find your niche, and you may not know what that niche is, but what you should be focusing on, if you are a businessman, is the quadrant of clients that you could potentially have. Do you know what I'm talking about, the quadrant?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think it's a very important concept for potential business owners to understand.
Then why don't you explain it, Rob, because you are the business professional.
Well, I don't know about
you are
that,
the
but the
bald
bottom line
bean
is-
counter.
As long as I'm not the bald burglar. I'm not looking for any Rogaine. Please don't send any. I don't care. In fact,
If you send Rogaine to the studio, no, we will make him try it
that
out.
would be funny. Yeah, we'll give it a try. What the heck? No, we won't. Actually, we'll just try to give it to the bald burglar to maybe save his life. But anyways,
We'll give it to Tim.
no, I don't think he cares either. The other bald guy of the Bald Bureau.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the quadrant scenario, right? So you've got 4 different quadrants, obviously. You've got low profit,
Low maintenance,
low maintenance.
high
That's
profit.
okay. You don't really want that because they're low maintenance. The fact that it's low profit, you can maybe live with that. You've got low profit, high maintenance. steer clear. If you figure out somebody is in that quadrant, which generally you can figure it out relatively quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Run for the hills.
So what signs, let's just for a second, for people who have been in corporate world, they're starting their drone business, they may not be perceptive to these cues. What sorts of cues do you look for in a person when you know they're high maintenance?
Well, high maintenance people are going to be people that are constantly, they don't know what they want. So they're constantly changing what they're asking you for.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those things seem irrational. They don't make a lot of sense. That's okay in the sense that we want to please the client, right? And we're
Yeah.
going to kind of help guide them. But the way that you know they're going to not be a client that you want, in my mind, is that they're also at the same time trying to nickel and dime you on what they're willing to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're willing to work extra hard for people if they're willing to pay for that extra hard work.
It's true.
And for a quality product at the back end. Guys, it's going to be relatively clear who these people are. I don't think it's
Well, yeah, these are
rocket
the type of
science.
people that they'll take a phone call while they're at a meeting with you, and then they'll complain about the person behind their back, about how unorganized they are, or something, and then they're just very snarky, you know?
Yeah.
And again, they don't know what they want. They change what they want a lot. Another great sign, this is a great one for realtors, is that when they want something, they will hound you. They will call you, Salisha, you know who you are. Call you.
Right.
But when you need something, they never answer.
Or when you need to get paid,
that too.
you got to chase them down all over the city.
Yep. Which actually, very interesting thing. Different businesses will have different payment terms. So, for example, real estate, I always take 50% up front no matter what. I won't even show up. And I've taken that to studios and television, film. I did a huge commercial for a shoemaker here in Albuquerque, and I told them 50% up front or else I will not show up, period. I want to know if you're serious or not,
Yeah.
straight up. And she paid it, but she told me, she's like, I've worked with like 4 or 5 drone operators. You're the only person who has requested money up front. And I said, well, I need to know if you're serious. And frankly, I get so many phone calls all the time
Exactly.
about people who want to fly. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you want to get. I will be there if you put money on the table and say, we're serious.
Well, yeah, and ultimately you can respectfully say, I appreciate that, but you're working with one of the best, and there are qualifications in order to do so, and that's one of them.
And she said, I respect why you're doing what you're doing,
Right.
and that's why I paid you. And I was like, perfect. Then
Yeah.
I appreciate the feedback. Anyway, back to the quadrants.
Back to the quadrants.
We've gone low maintenance, low profit, high maintenance.
No, we did low maintenance, high profit. We did low maintenance, low profit.
There you go.
Generally, those are kind of those that you want to steer away from. You've then got high profit, but high maintenance. We just kind of alluded to that.
Yes.
They're
They're still not fun. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Paul says don't do it. And a lot of that, for a lot of you, that ultimately, and we understand this, is going to depend on how busy you are and you're trying to build your business. You can put up with a little more high maintenance for the high profit. We get that, even though Paul's telling you to steer clear from that. Eventually, yes, you want to steer clear
Well,
from
I mean,
that.
the only way high maintenance, high profit is going to work is if you add that, I call it the AHO line item.
Sure, that's right.
No one really asks what AHO stands for. I'm sure you can guess. Glass hole. Get it?
I get it. Thanks,
And
Paul.
it's radio friendly.
Yeah,
Anyway.
sort of.
So anyway, that's a line item, and it normally is 25 to 30% of the original cost because I'm not going to deal with someone treating me poorly. And I'll be honest with you, I would recommend to most people to not take the job if they feel like they need to even charge that line item, because at the end of the day, it's just not worth the stress it's going to cause you and your family. Find people that you enjoy working for, because you will work really hard for them and it won't seem like you're putting out any effort. It's like an emotional trigger.
Yeah, absolutely. So that takes us to the fourth and final quadrant, which is
High profit,
Uh-uh.
high profit, low maintenance.
Yes.
I almost messed that up.
Exactly, yeah. So those people are fantastic. And that does not mean we're looking for people to take advantage of. It means people like a client that Paul has currently who's just got a tremendous business and a lot of opportunity that has plugged Paul into really kind of one client, essentially, with a few exceptions. But this is a client who is fun to work with. Paul enjoys him. Paul likes him. The work is interesting. and he pays handsomely.
Mm-hmm.
And you've worked a long time to get to this point, and you've found this relationship, and you're bearing the fruit.
Yeah,
and it's a beautiful thing.
I have actually, I have eliminated a whole part of my business to make way for this client, which is I don't shoot any more real estate. I'm done with it. No more real estate. Ranches and larger real estate projects, I don't consider real estate. Like if it's $5 million and over, it's not really real estate in my mind. It's more like land development, CRP. Which,
Right.
if you don't know what CRP means, it's community and regional planning. I just won't touch real estate. I'm sick of it. It's a great entry point for a lot of new pilots to get in, to hone their skills, to do the deliberate practice model. You couldn't do it a better way if you do it with real estate. But if you really want to succeed, you need to find your niche and something that's going to pay more. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out with crappy realtors. So,
Well, yeah, and certainly the real estate genre can be a place that, some people who are uniquely, they have the personality for that. It might work for them long term, and that's fine.
well, a perfect example is one of our students, Matt Neal. In fact, I've worked side by side with him a couple times.
Yeah.
He has a system down to not deal with BS from people. I mean, literally, it is such a gorgeous system. Matt, you are awesome in many ways for doing what you're doing. And, he at one time, his pricing was low, and he's upped his pricing.
Yeah.
And he has, he's done a lot. He's created the system where he takes the photos, he does the video, someone edits the photos, someone edits the video, and it's done.
He does. He has a nice system. He's built a nice reputation. I think a lot of people really enjoy his work. And so he gets a lot of business now just that comes to him
Yep.
because he's put in the time and he does quality work. And I don't see that necessarily changing for him. I think that's
No.
probably a long-term...
He's built a great model,
yeah.
though. He has a system where he can do volume business.
Right.
So when you're doing houses for $500 a piece, and you're doing 4 or 5 a day, you're killing it.
Yeah, absolutely. That
That's the
works.
same day rate as if you go out to, a TV show or
Right.
a documentary. Discovery Channel pays $2,000 a day. So
Yeah, and he enjoys what he does. So, that's a great combination. You
Yeah.
enjoy what you do, you make good money, you have fun. I think so it could work, but obviously if you can get something like what Paul's talking about, probably even better.
Yeah, and I can't say it enough. Emotional intelligence is one of those things that you're going to have to learn. A lot of the traditional aviation pilots are very egotistical. That doesn't mean that they all are. It just
Right.
means that there's a trend with that. You cannot have that mentality. It's just... those pilots only have to deal with 1 or 2 people for a job. You're going to have to deal with a lot more than that. And also, you need to have the emotional intelligence to be humble, to work with people you like, you need to be likable in order to continue to get work. It's not going to be that oh, well, I'm a pilot though, Rob, so I go wherever I like. It's yeah, you do, and you deal with a bunch of a-hoes in the meantime.
Yep.
And who cares, because you get paid practically nothing. So it's
Yeah.
let me ask you this there, pilot. When you were 28 years old, how much money were you making? Like $30,000. I make $3.75 an hour
Yeah.
flying the little toys.
Without a law degree.
Anyway, it's just what it is it's asinine, and you have to be humble, you have to be likable, and if you're going to be successful, emotional intelligence is just something, the sooner you master it, the better off you are, and Matt Neal has done that.
He has done that. And what I want to say is just we really want to help people find a way to make a living doing something that they enjoy and that they love. And if we've accomplished that at the end of the day, at the end of a podcast, whatever, man, that feels good.
Well, totally. And I mean, a lot of people are going from their traditional jobs to drone businesses, and you should not settle to settle who you work for just so that you can have your drone business. You are moving away from a lifestyle, that 9 to 5 that you don't like. No one likes it. It sucks. Let's be honest, right? You're doing a job that you love so that you don't have to work another day in your life.
Absolutely.
So why then deal with mean, disrespectful people who simply don't understand how business works? Because this is something I learned a long time ago, right? When that drone show first came out, I was really worried that our podcast and their podcast would compete. And they don't. I mean, at the end of the day, they really don't. But for a while, I was like, oh man, I hope, David and Sarah have a hard time, that we do it better, and I just realized that is the completely wrong mentality.
Of course it is.
Because if someone is really mean or disrespectful, and Dave and Sarah, you are not, I'm not saying that you are, they're going to ruin themselves in time.
Right.
You don't have to do anything for them to ruin their own business. They're going to do it on their own.
Yeah.
And if that happens, and I'm not trying to give that drone show as an example that I want them to ruin themselves. I'm just trying to give an example that I had to train and teach myself to switch mentalities.
Right.
That I don't want people, I should never wish bad things on anyone. If someone is an a-ho, if they're in an issue, let them ruin themselves. They're going to do it themselves. Why worry about it at all? What's the point? Emotional intelligence.
Absolutely. Take care of your business, and your business will take care of itself.
Amen.
You'll be fine. By the way, one of the notes that just came to mind as you were talking about people leaving their existing business or occupations, did you realize that probably, I would say, a majority of our Drone U members are, 35 to 45, even 50? I just think that's really cool. So if you're listening out there and you're wondering, is anybody else thinking what I'm thinking or doing what I'm thinking about doing, and that is making the jump, people are doing it, and it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. A lot of them are members in Drone U.
If you're thinking about making the jump, make the jump now. There couldn't be a better time. Seriously.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So anyways, you realize we never did get to a question today.
No, I did not realize that. And we've got a meeting in 2 minutes. Well, that is your business advice for today. We talked about the quadrants. We talked about how to work with clients. You know what, though? As I was sitting here, and I'm like, man, I wish someone would have told me this when I got out of college.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know what? Even though we didn't answer a question today, we got completely off topic. For those of you listening, I think this is extremely valuable information because seriously, I really wish I would have known a lot of the things that I know now when I was younger. So anyway, take the advice or don't, whatever you want to do with it, but I think it will help you out.
I agree. And so we do answer questions. So if you have one, please go to askdroneu.com. Check us out there. Leave your question. Give us a nice accent. We love that. It's a lot of fun. And in fact, if you still want to do a video with some funky costume, we'll take that too, and we will send you. We still have a couple of the SD card cases from Go Professional Cases.
I got to pay that invoice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
all
they
right.
sent one finally.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
No, bummer. I should have sent it to Rick and be like, did you see this?
Wait a minute. Don't we talk about you on the podcast all the time? Anyways.
Yeah. You said it, I didn't.
Thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it. Any final words? Check out the 107 material.
That's the sound of studying. And if you're not doing it, then you may not pass the test.
No, you got to take it definitely
serious.
Gonna have to study.
This study guide is going to get you through that test. If you want the study guide for free, all you got to do is become a member. If you're like, I don't like that community stuff, and you just want to buy it and spend a lot more money than you normally would, that's fine. You can do that too. It's on the droneu.com. That's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
I'm Rob.
This is Ask Drone U.